Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today. This is a presentation being put on by the Massachusetts Clean Water Trust for the School Water Improvement Grants, or SWIG program. And this is going to be a program overview as well as a detailed application walkthrough. So let's get right into it. To start off, we're talking about how the SWIG, or the School Water Improvement Grant program, works. So there's 5 steps. The first step being to sample. So water quality sampling utilizing Mass DEP's Lead Contamination Control Act procedures and program management tool has to be completed. And obviously the reason for that is we need to detect or see if there is any lead in the bottle filling stations or the water fountains. After sampling, you would apply, and you're applying to SWIG to replace the universally accessible fixtures that did have detectable lead when sampled. The next step is to purchase and install fixtures. So the SWIG program awards a $3,000 per eligible fixture to purchase the filtered water bottle filling stations. And those grant awards are provided upfront, so there's not a reimbursement basis. And recipients will have 1 year to complete the entire process. So that's from procuring, installing, and then the post-installation sampling of those bottle filling stations. Step 4, which carries over from the end of that step, is to sample and close out the grants. So recipients are going to be resampling the newly installed fixtures to confirm that they do not have a detectable amount of lead. And then you'd be notifying stakeholders of those negative results and submitting a closeout package to the trust. And then step 5, which is less a step and more just a procedure, is future O&M, or future operations and maintenance. So let's say your facility or your district had excess funds left over from the grant. Well, those funds can be used for future operation and maintenance costs. And usually that would be in the form of purchasing replacement filters to put back into those filling stations once the old ones have been used up. So then as far as round 2, the eligible recipients. Presently, eligible recipients are both public and private schools, public and private early education facilities, and non-residential childcare facilities. And to be eligible to receive SWIG grant funding, a facility must have done the following. The first being to complete water quality sampling and testing through Mass Department of Environmental Protection, or for short, Mass DEP's Assistance Program for Lead in School Drinking Water, or to have completed sampling and testing using Mass DEP's Lead Contamination Control Act procedure, and then entered that corresponding data to Mass DEP's LCCA program management tool. And for additional information on Mass DEP's school water sampling program, you can visit their webpage. If you go to our webpage, which is masscleanwatertrust.gov, there's a whole part of our website devoted to the SWIG program. And that webpage itself will have links to the DEP site, as well as a lot of other helpful resources. Now you might be asking what fixtures are eligible for replacement. So this program, it's making grant funds awarded for the replacement of universally accessible water fountains, water chillers, and bubblers that have detectable lead. And if you're asking, what qualifies something as universally accessible, that's going to be fixtures that are located in hallways, libraries, cafeterias, gyms, or any other area that's outside of a closed or a private classroom. And through the grant process, fixtures can be relocated to maximize the use of a bottle filling station. So if you have, a bubbler in one part of a corridor, but during the process you think there would be a better place to move that is allowable within the program. And then as far as facilities that care for infants, toddlers, and pre-kindergarten students, those can include a shared kitchen or a food prep area. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the application process. So the SWIG application is a 2-part process. Part 1 is an online organization form. It's a pretty brief 9-question form that would be submitted through the FormStack link that's on the Trust's website. And it says here during the open application period, but at this time we're accepting on a rolling basis. And the purpose of that form is just to determine eligibility. And if you are eligible, you would be receiving the facility inventory form package, and ineligible recipients, or excuse me, ineligible applicants will be forwarded additional resources for water quality sampling. And then the part 2 of the application is, as mentioned above, that facility inventory form. It's a PDF package that's going to be emailed to the identified point of contact. It collects administrative info about the org, and we're also going to be collecting information about the specific facilities that you're looking to do work on through this grant program. And now here's what the actual Part 1 form looks like. So it's the preliminary online form to collect basic organizational information. The link is available on the Trust website, and we're going to be gathering the name, the DESI or EEC organization code. So DESI if you're a public school district, and then the EEC if you're a childcare facility, the type of facility you are, be it school, childcare, etc. The point of contact who will be communicating with during the application period, and then the number of facilities that you'd be applying for the program. And once you've submitted that to the Trust, we would turn it around to you in 5 business days. And what we'll be doing is confirming the facility information is listed in that LCCA database, and then either sending the facility inventory package or referring the applicant to resources for the water quality sampling. So let's say you do move forward, then this is part 2. This is that facility inventory form. And that is also going to be turned around within the 5 business days. And what that does is it contains detailed application instructions and the fillable form itself. And what that's going to be requesting is detailed organization data and then specific facility information. Now, this package does come with spaces for 10 facilities. So if you exceeded that number, let's say you were applying for 20, you could reach out with us and we would just provide you a second package so that you could fill out that information. Now, zooming in on the form itself, we're going to be requesting the facility name, the organization name and address, the type of organization, the DUNS number, and at time of recording, it's August of 2022. There is currently some federal rules potentially changing to where they would be changing from the DUNS number to the unique entity identifying number. And so if that change is made, then that would be reflected in our new application, as well as the point of contact info and a facilities contact if that person isn't the point of contact for the application. We found through the round 1 of the SWIG program that having the facilities people who are going to be on the ground working with these filling stations, it's very good to have them tied into this process as well. So that's why we're going to be gathering their information. And then the form would be signed by an authorized officer of the organization. Then this is the facility form itself, and the organization is going to be providing the requested information for each individual facility. Like I said, that PDF contains 10 fillable facility pages, and if more than 10 are needed, you'll be submitting multiple forms. Now, zooming in a bit more, this portion of the form will be requesting the facility's name, the facility's address, the individual facility code, so the full 8-digit DESI code or the code used by the NEEC, checking yes or no to if it's a daycare, and then the grade levels that are served, so choosing the most appropriate option for the student body. And then moving down in the form, we're going to be getting some pretty pertinent information as to the enrollment. So the number of enrolled students, the number of enrolled students who are in childcare, pre-K, kindergarten, and grades 1 through 5. And, if you're a facility that's multiple grade levels or multiple grade years, those numbers could be different. So in this example, we can see that of the 233 enrolled students, all of them are in grades 1 through 5, but that might not be true for your facility depending on the breakdown of ages and grades that your district serves. We're also going to be asking for the number of currently operational water fountains, bottle filling stations, bubblers, or coolers. But please note, you're still going to count them if they've been shut down due to COVID-19, but not if they have been shut down due to detectable lead. We're going to be getting the number of water fountains, the bottle filling stations, bubblers, or coolers with lead detected above 1 parts per billion, and then the number of fixtures being requested to replace through this grant program. Please note that it must be the number of fixtures that could be purchased, installed, and sampled within 1 year, because the grant has a 1-year expiration date. And we also are asking if the facility is using bottled water or if they know if they're on a lead service line. Now, towards the bottom of the form is where you're going to be inputting the location codes for fixtures that you wish to be replaced. And what these are is they identify the eligible water fountains, bubblers, and coolers by their location code from the facility's map. So you can see in the example here, we have the specific location of those bubblers. And in this case, they're applying to replace fixture 001. So in the top of the form, you can see that the location code for the fixture is 001. And at the very bottom, the last couple questions are requesting facilities to identify if any of the water fountains or dispensers are in a shared kitchen or a food prep location. And this is only for facilities who serve infants, toddlers, and children who would be unable to access or fill up their own water bottle. And then we also would ask that if you plan on relocating a water fountain, to identify why, as well as where you're planning on installing the new bottle filling station. So what's next once you've submitted all this information to us? We're going to confirm receipt of the application, and then it's going to go through a review process for accuracy. We'll follow up if any items need to be clarified or cured, even if the deadline has lapsed. And then we'll be sending an update on the schedule of the process moving forward. And this says that there's going to be multiple award sessions due to the rolling application process. So we would definitely welcome any questions, any feedback, and you can find the contact information for the program listed here. I really appreciate you all taking the time out of your day to join us, and we can open it up for questions at this time.